Hello and welcome to TSG Foundation's Wisdom of the Zodiac. Today's lesson and meditation will be taken from Wisdom of the Zodiac by Torkom Saraydarian, Volume 1, Chapter 27, titled Taurus, the Treasury of Light. This chapter is about the 9 steps of illumination or expansion of your light. It is a beautiful chapter, and as many of you know, the Taurus full moon is also the festival of Buddha, the birth of Buddha, also called Wesak or Vaisakhi. This is an important time in the life of our discipleship. A practicing disciple of the Ageless Wisdom takes every measure necessary to study and meditate on this topic at the time of the full moon of Taurus. It is very important that you do this. So I'm going to go through some key ideas from this chapter with you, and I recommend that you also read the chapter. There are 9 steps in each of the 7 days. Remember, we will celebrate 3 days before the day of the full moon and the 3 days after. So each of those days, take 1 or 2 of the steps of illumination. Study them, meditate on them, write out your thoughts and journal, so important. And then the day of the full moon, do the full moon meditation that I will guide us through at the end of this presentation. That is the approach that we will take during the Taurus full moon. So let's begin with page 367. Let me read a few of these paragraphs. They are so beautiful. So just keep in your mind the treasury of light. Where is the treasury? Okay, that dense treasure that is going to release itself into your life. And what is the treasure in you that is going to release itself and bathe you in total light and truth? And that is so beautiful, and everything in your life starts to become more and more clear. So let's begin with that first paragraph. Sages in ancient and modern times spoke about the great eye. In some temples in Asia, I saw a big eye painted in sanctuaries or built of mosaics. This was the eye that is capable of seeing all that is in man and in the universe on all planes. So just take that image first of all and know that there is nothing hidden in the universe. We can't see what is in the higher worlds because we haven't developed the eyes with which to see. But the eye of Taurus, that all-knowing, all-seeing eye, is able to penetrate through all the layers, penetrate through all our fogs, and see the truth of what we are, the truth of all life. Isn't that something that you would like to develop slowly? Is to be able to see the truth as it is and face it? It is such a beautiful concept and very serious concept. So think of that eye that is out there and also in you, that is capable of seeing truth. This is so important because if we are not able to discern truth from falsity, we will not be able to have a conscious communication with the higher worlds. The truth has to be really seen, whether we like it or not. We might not like it, but at the end of the day, truth will free us from all the fogs and the masks that we live under. Okay, second paragraph. We are told that this great eye not only sees everything, but also directs all living beings toward their ultimate purpose. So that eye sees us. And when we link with that eye, we say, ah, that's the truth. Now I see a better path to my purpose. Do you see how it works? It's not that you are exposed to the whole world. Who cares if somebody can see everything that's inside of us and around us and in our life? In our private life, doesn't matter. What matters really is what it compels us to do, is to say, wow, with that light that shines on my life, then now I can see the truth of my life and really begin to be on the path of my purpose. That's beautiful. In the Ageless Wisdom, this eye is also called the Treasury of Light. Remember that word treasury, or even the eye of wisdom, from which pours down the wisdom of the stars. So that eye first sees what's going on, okay, exposes it, then links with you. Remember, we're having a communication and a response. That's what we learned in Aries in last month. It is linking us with that truth. Then we shift to a different purpose in our life, our true purpose, and we see the wisdom in the path that we are taking, the wisdom of the love that underlies our life, the wisdom of light and love and purpose. Do you see that? It is so important. These are simple words that we hear in esoteric wisdom all the time. Light, love, and power. There's deep, deep truth in them. So remember these different parts of that mosaic. In the Taurus constellation, there's a very bright star called the Eye of Taurus. So he's really digging that in to really bring it into our consciousness that there is the big visible eye in the universe. Whether it's an eye or an energy focus, we don't know, it doesn't matter. It is something that is able to see through all the layers of matter. This is the eye from which the treasury of light is distributed to our solar system. So not only does it have light, not only does it see truth, not only does it have wisdom, not only does it have a treasury, but it also pours out that wisdom. So remember, it is not somewhere where we can't find anything. Wisdom is all around us. It is in these books. It is in the eyes of your beloved. It is in the eyes of truth. If you are only going to be willing to see it. See, the festival of Taurus is the festival of light and the festival of Buddha. It's so beautiful. Festival of Buddha. We have just released a fantastic new book called The Hidden Wisdom of the Lotus Sutra. In that book, page after page, Torkom defines to us what was the true teaching of Buddha contained in the Lotus Sutra. If you don't have that book, I emphasize that you get it. Get it at this time of the Lord Buddha's birthday, the celebration of Wesak, and read that book. Just put it next to your bed and read a little bit every day. Meditate on its contents and look at the message that it gives us that I'm going to talk about a little bit in just a few minutes. In the Western mind, Buddha is a man, but in reality, Buddha is a cosmic principle, the principle of compassion. I love that. It is not just a man that we worship, although there was a Lord Buddha, but it is the principle endowed in that personage. Just like in Christ, the principle of love was endowed. In Lord Buddha, the principle of light and truth and enlightenment is endowed. The true Buddha teaches that there are millions of Buddhas. It contains in the Lotus Sutra. You will be happy to read that. Who for millions of years are teaching the law on the earth and in subtle realms. What is that law? You're going to discover what that law is. The law of truth that is contained in the Lotus Sutra. Now let's go to the next page, 368. And this is really a profound, profound paragraph that not only describes the Taurus full moon, but the connection to light and the Lord Buddha and the wisdom in the Lotus Sutra. The great teachers of humanity are Buddhas in their own accord. Buddha means great one, enlightened one. The Lotus Sutra reveals another truth that is not found in previous sutras. This is so important. Actually, the last and most supreme teaching of Sakyamuni Buddha was the Lotus Sutra. In this teaching, Buddha said that all of you can reach Buddhahood. Look what that means. All of you, that means all of you, me, everyone, poor people, rich people, refugees, settled people, people with homes and homeless people, doesn't matter. Everybody in the world is at one point going to be a Buddha. What does that mean to you? When you really think about this full moon period, also think about what that means and the implication of that understanding in your life. Every time that I read that while I was working on the Lotus Sutra, I would stop and think, is there someone that I dislike? Is there someone that I have a problem with? Can I just imagine them and say, you too will be a Buddha? And then can I imagine myself when I did not like what I did or what I thought or what I said and say, you too will be a Buddha one day when you get that illumination, that enlightenment, okay? In this teaching, Buddha said that all of you can reach Buddhahood. Buddha nature is inherent in each of you. Hear me when I say that. As I worked on that book, and he repeated this statement over and over, I really got that sense of encouragement that no matter what happens in my life, I will reach that level at some point. If not this life, next life, next life. There's always a chance. Never give up. There's always a chance for you to become an enlightened one. Work out your salvation, the Buddha says, with your own hands and feet. Nobody will do it for you. That's why we celebrate these full moons, so that you take responsibility, you take ownership for your discipleship. Okay, I am the light, and I have millions and millions of incarnations, each acting as a Buddha in cosmic space. My illumination began millions of years ago. This is what the Lord Buddha is saying, that he worked on it lifetime after lifetime, just like you and I are. So a working disciple, okay, a practicing disciple of the Ageless Wisdom is someone who is continuously searching and practicing and striving for illumination, okay? Let's go a little bit further down. The eye of vision, remember that eye? The eye on the forehead of the bull is also called the flaming sword. Cuts through all the stuff that we have. Remember, the stuff that we are engulfed in, cuts through it. All our ego, our vanity, our shoulda, coulda, wouldas, all the different things that we go through in our life every day, or when something very important happens. Like when somebody important passes away in our life, suddenly we are flooded. I should have done this. I should have said that. Well, time is ticking. Time is ticking, and we don't know when somebody will be lost, when we will be gone. Right now is the time for you to take the steps to do the right thing in the process of illumination. That flaming sword that you have inside of you, that psychic mechanism, will help you cut through the falseness and get to the truth. In the Ageless Wisdom, this sword is a symbol of Buddhi, the power of discrimination, which is also a protection against all that misleads people and prevents their progress. Look at how many seed thoughts are contained in these paragraphs. Look at that power of discrimination, to know what is the right thing to do, the wrong thing not to do, what to say, what not to say, think and not think. Remember that power of discrimination gives us the ability to make the right choice at any given moment. This is a protection for us. When we make the right choices, the effect will follow from that right choice. Okay? Let's go back further down that page. The eye of vision is not only there in space, but it also is within all of us. Do you see where he's bringing it? He's taking that big eye of Taurus out there somewhere, enlightening us, giving us treasury, giving us wisdom, telling us we can also become Buddhas, but it's also telling us that eye is in you. That eye, that ability to see is also in you. It is a matter of opening that eye and living under the light and the direction of that eye. Now, we're not talking about forcing your third eye to open or third chakra to open. That is not it at all. What we are saying is, through living through the 7 principles of beauty, goodness, righteousness, joy, and freedom, strive toward perfection and serve and sacrifice the not-self. You will find that inner eye opening, that inner discernment, discrimination, ability to know right from wrong, ability to stay on your path no matter what happens, and you will see that that will take place. Illumination makes you real and leads you to your reality. Wow. Leads you to your reality. Only you can tell what is your reality. Most of us are not real. That is such a profound statement. When I read that, I sat and thought, wow, you are right. Most of us are not real. Or we can say, most of the day we are not real. We're pretending. What does social media do for us? We pretend. We pretend we're having such a great time and everything is wonderful, or we are so miserable we want everybody to commiserate with us. This is saying most of the time, you are not real. Okay, that's profound. If that's true, then find out how to remove the artificiality. We are artificially built and live an artificial life. He's really hitting us directly with this chapter. There's no softness in it, but it is for the purpose of an awakening the disciple in each of us. Okay? One moment of enlightenment shows us our true face. Okay, see your true face, good or bad, either beneficial or ugly. We see our true nature. The most dangerous people are not those who are ugly, but those who, being ugly, appear beautiful, pretend they're beautiful, and even deceive themselves in thinking that they are beautiful. Those are the fake people that you see everywhere. They're pretending, they're acting, they're really just false. They are not in truth, and they're always in some kind of an illusion, some kind of an ego or a glamour that is not in truth, that is not their truth. Enlightenment is a gradual release of your core into manifestation. And remember, what is your core? Remember this, your core is light, is love, and it's purpose and direction. That is your core. If you can grab that and release it, that is the process of illumination. Now, the rest of the chapter is giving us 9 steps for illumination. And I would suggest that because these 3 major full moons are so important, that you read each one. Take 1 or 2 for the 7 days and study them. Study means you read it. They're not that long. Each one is about a paragraph or 2 paragraphs, not very long. And then find keynotes, meditate what they mean, and then journal. Journaling is very important. And I always talk about journaling and sea thought meditation, because what is in your mind will stay floating in your mind unless you bring it down with your fingers and write it out. Write long, short, doesn't matter how long it is, but get that down onto paper. Okay? Now let's look at the final comments that he gives on the bottom of page 372 and the top of 373. It's very beautiful, and I'd like to read it for us. The Wesak full moon is the day that you can awaken. That's the contact you make. That is why we have our conferences at that time, our annual conferences, because it is a time that we can come together and really help each other awaken. The energies are here and everywhere on our planet. These energies slowly awaken human beings to their real worth. Wow, you have real worth. It is so beautiful. I was explaining to a little boy once what his worth was. He said, "What is worth?" I said, "Well, you are worth. You have so much beauty in you. You bring so much joy to your family. That is your worth. So remember, you have worth, and you can bring that out." This is so important to meditate upon. What is my worth? You see, not just money. Money's good, property's good, beauty's good, but all of those are fading. My real worth is something that I can take away with me to the higher worlds and bring back with me next lifetime. That is the eternal worth. Most of us think that we do not have value. At times, Torkom says, I have felt that way. I felt totally hopeless and helpless. I asked, what is the cost of a man? 1 bullet, nothing else. You see, look at what he's thinking. I know that at times you feel the same way when depression, sickness, failures, and frustrations come. You feel that the whole universe is a joke, nothing else. Don't you feel that way sometimes? Of course, when you see so much corruption and so much violence in our streets, you think, what a joke. Is that all there is? Well, that is not true. But that is the moment you must gather yourself together and say, this is important. Whenever you feel that helplessness, that everything is a joke, that it doesn't matter, look at this. This is the mantra he wants you to say. What is that? More radiant than the sun, purer than the snow, subtler than the ether is the self, the spirit within my heart. I am that self am I. What a beautiful affirmation that is. And I would say, every time you feel down, every time you feel like the world is just so corrupt and so awful, you need to build your optimism. Practical disciples, disciples who are actually practicing disciples, okay? Practicing disciples never give up. They are always full of optimism because life is endless. Look at this last beautiful paragraph on page 374. I'd like to read it for you. Do not stay as you are, okay? This is the time for change. Taurus brings change. Aries starts it and revs us up. Taurus puts it in our face, and Gemini lets us radiate it out. So get in that groove, get in that flow of divine flow. Do not fall in love with yourself, though. Do not worship your form, your body, your books, your dress, your makeup, your eyes, your lips, and so on. Say to yourself, I am not these. Okay? Where is that light? That eternal light in me. Once you reach the light, you do not need to pick things one by one from your character and remove them, because your character will not be cleaned by picking the leaves from it. Okay, this is so important. I want you to read that paragraph over and over. Your character will be cleaned only if that inner faucet of light suddenly or by accident breaks open. This is what the release is. You can reach such a release and freedom, and one day the single eye will shine in your forehead. Okay, one day, making your whole self a shining light. Isn't that beautiful? Please read that paragraph again and know that sometimes we say, oh, if I only did this or do that, remove this or go on this diet or this exercise, I would be better. He's saying that's not the way. The way is to let loose that shining light inside of us, that eye inside of us, okay? That psychic mechanism inside of you. Let it release what you truly are, and then one by one, things you don't like will still start being removed. Okay, so on the day of the full moon, join me in doing this beautiful meditation. It's quite long, but it's beautiful, and I'd like you to really be comfortable and stay focused. Don't sleep, don't tune out. Okay, we are going to have a very powerful, very safe meditation, and I'm going to follow it exactly given in the book, pages 374 all the way to 377 in volume 1. We are going to sound 3 ohms. The first ohm, you are going to integrate yourself. Second, you're going to align yourself with your solar angel. And third, you are going to align yourself with that eye, that great eye of Taurus. Okay, let's do that. Close your eyes. Now we are going to say the great invocation with deep concentration. Don't let your mind wander. Remember, we are looking at the eye. Keep your visualization so that your mind does not jump from one thing to another. Be single pointed as we say the great invocation, which is a very powerful mantra of bringing light, love, and power and uniting it with the human beings all over the earth. Let's begin. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. from the center where the will of God is known. Let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. Follow with one Om. Keeping your eyes closed, visualize the point of light within the center of your head. Let it increase its intensity and expand until it is flooding your whole body, emotional and mental bodies, purifying, energizing, and healing all your systems. Go ahead and start that. You can see a point of light that's a little spark of blue light. Don't force yourself. Just slowly let it radiate out. Keep expanding it. Imagine that blue light is flooding your whole system, cleaning, purifying, energizing, uplifting, and healing every problem that you have. See all the dust and debris just falling out of your system, and you are full of that blue light. See your whole aura is full of light, radiating. Take a deep breath and start again with a blue light, and quickly let it release itself throughout your body and exit out. And you are full of light. And meditate on the following seed thought as you sit in that light. If I am enlightened, what will my life be like? Find 3 or 5 things that will give indications of your enlightenment. Second, if I am enlightened to a certain degree, what shape will my life take? Imagine yourself fully enlightened. What does that look like to you? Imagine it, visualize it, make it real. How do you behave physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually? You are creating yourself as an enlightened being. Hold yourself in that light and repeat after me. More radiant than the sun, purer than the snow, subtler than the ether is the self. The spirit within my heart, I am that self am I. Say the mantra of unification with me if you know it, or your eyes closed and follow with me. The sons of men are one, and I am one with them. I seek to love, not hate. I seek to serve and not exact due service. I seek to heal, not hurt. Let pain bring due reward of light and love. Let the soul control the outer form and life and all events, and bring to light the love which underlies the happenings of the time. Let vision come and insight. Let the future stand revealed. Let inner union demonstrate. Outer cleavages be gone. Let love prevail. Let all men love. One Om. Let me summarize our lesson for today for Taurus, a very important full moon, which reminds us that each of us has a Buddha nature, that we can become Buddhas if we strive and become illuminated or enlightened. And as practicing disciples of the Ageless Wisdom, we are going to become focused, have direction, and be in that direction of truth and light. That is the keynote of Taurus, to find that I that is coming to us and the I that is internal to us. Clear out all confusions. Clear out all your confusions by study and application of the teaching. That's how you become a practicing disciple of the Ageless Wisdom. May the blessings of Buddha be on you and all of us in the world, and may you be an eternal light, an eternal truth. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.